I do believe David Moyes. I would be delighted if David Moyes gets like a top.
Well, I think he's earned one.
He has deserved it, and I think he would do a brilliant job at Tottenham. So what do you two think? Do you think David Moyes should get the chance, or do you think Harry Redknapp should, stay? I think he should stay. What do you two think?
I think Harry Redknapp, deserves a chance to take over, maybe at an international level. I know that he said that if the England job had been offered to him, he would have accepted it. And also, I'm told that Harry Redknapp's been offered a job in Dubai, a very lucrative job. Although I did think he said that he'd never leave his home in, I can't think where, near Bournemouth.
No, I don't think he'll leave his home. That's part. If he was not really wanting to leave his home for the England job, I can't see.
Well, he didn't want to leave it for the Newcastle job.
Well,
he said that if he got the job, he'd fly off in a helicopter, like Michael Owen did.
What? Did he do that throughout his Newcastle career?
Yeah, Michael Owen got on a helicopter.
Got the emissions. Could have walked.
Well, no, he would have picked up an injury.
But I think also with Harry Redknapp, he's clearly set out a possible plan of who he wants to bring in. We've seen, the players already. So I think I've got a feeling it is going to be touch and go whether he stays at Tottenham or not. I think he wants,
at his age, he wants to secure a long-term deal, really. To maybe see out the rest of his managerial career. And they don't seem to be willing to give him that.
I think he had something that he said he'd like to manage till he was 70. I think I've heard that, and he's 65 now, and I believe he were after a 3-year deal, and instead they only would offer him 1 year. So
I think he deserves at least 2 years for the work he's done. Like I said, one day Ramos took him towards the bottom of the Premier League before getting sacked, which for some reason Real Madrid thought that's a great idea. We'll get one day in.
Well, I think, you've got to look at the progress Tottenham have made since he took over. They were in the bottom 3 when he took over, and now 2 seasons out of 3, they've ended up in the top 4.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible achievement.
And they should have really got into Champions League this year.
Away, really, didn't they?
Well, I think they should have, even though Chelsea, because I think they got into the top 4, and at the end of the day, that should be, in my opinion, that should be enough. It should be based on 38 games rather than your Champions League progress. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Like I say, for Liverpool and Everton, both qualified. Yeah, Liverpool won it. So I don't know why they couldn't have done the same for Tottenham.
Well, basically, that was the reason why it was all started, was the Liverpool thing. So blame Liverpool, Tottenham fans. It's their fault.
Or blame UEFA who come up with the rule.
Yeah, but
that'd be more
logical.
logical.
That would probably be more.
Yeah, but you can't blame UEFA.
Well, you can.
You can, but they won't accept responsibility.
Well, you can, but you'll never be allowed at all their events ever again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, we've had Dale's news of the week. We've had my news of the week now.
No, we've had Jackson's
I thought mine was the first one. It was the guy who got beaten up.
It was so enthralling.
A guy got beaten up in a shower, for crying out loud. Wasn't that boring?
Shall we move on to?
Oh no. I'm sorry, I was trying. To be honest, I'm just trying to delay the inevitable. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's the final one of the academic year. Yes, get in there. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dale Harris with
Joke of the Week.
Sponsored by sportingviewpoint.co.uk.
Well, you two try and hold back the tears. I know it's a very sad occasion.
Tears of happiness.
I know the Leakington fans are all going to miss this. But don't worry, I can pop the odd joke on Facebook or Twitter. And
2 likes, 1 retweet, that's what you used to. But anyway, go on, mate.
That's a bit optimistic. But, I saw the interview of Roy Hodgson after the England game. And he said, Liverpool asked who did a good performance for you in the French match, and he said, I thought Danny played well. Back.
Wow. Can I just say, because it's the last one, I'm going to do a little joke myself and then make the apologies. Roy Hodgson was in a press conference and somebody said, have you ever tweeted? He goes, yes, I have tweeted. Last week I tweeted my wife to dinner. Oh, thank you. I've heard someone else tell me that joke.
I apologise for that joke.
I'm not sure which one was worse, to be honest.
Right, okay, well, I'll make this speech. I apologise for that. I hope you were doing something productive. Maybe you were, doing your homework. Doing your homework. Maybe listening to previous podcasts. Maybe cracking open the bottle of champagne, because you won't have to listen to us until September.
Maybe doing the reading.
Maybe. A bit optimistic there, mate. But anyway, you thought that was bad. Ladies and gentlemen, the last one. And he will give it away. He's warming them vocal cords up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jack Elliott. Are you ready for the best accent on this show? With Accent of the Week.
All right. Giggity.
Well, there we go. That
was a car crash.
If you don't know that one, then you're clearly not a very good family man. But
well, it seems today that you should get it.
Anyway, if you do get it, well done. Well, highlight
of the year, I think we should do.
We're doing
highlight of the year.
Highlight of the year. This is a small section. We're going to recap what we've done before. And we're also going to talk about things that we're looking forward to explore in the upcoming months. So, what is your one favourite memory of Blah-de-Blah? We're going to start with Del Harris.
Well, of course, there's many highlights of Blah-de-Blah and favourite memories. Of course, Joke of the Week's right up there, because after the positive response from both my co-hosts here.
Yeah, mate,
I think... I think a particular highlight for us would have to be the Julio O'Dwyer interview.
Yeah.
I think because it showed progression. I feel like talking about a football team. It showed progression from the lads.
At the end of the day, we've done.
Jack, you got that interview.
Yep, I'll set it up.
Yeah, it went very well.
Asked some very relevant questions.
Some were good.
It's you can have your moment.
Yeah. You have your moment.
I can just say, it's also been an absolute pleasure doing this podcast with you two, if I can say it. And I'm very much looking forward to doing Series 3. And what I'm looking forward to, of course, is Series 3. Don't miss it. September, October. We'll notify you when it's starting. And we're covering things, looking back at the Olympics and looking forward to other sport and news events for the end of 2012 and, of course, 2013 and beyond. Tom, what have your favourite memories been?
Well, my favourite memories... This idea, the name was... We were all having a meal, and I remember going, why don't we just call it... I was like, it's like Blah-de-Blah. And I'll never forget the look when we all looked at each other and went, that's what we're calling it. One of my favourite moments was a text I received. It was just a week before we started the podcast. And this is what it read. And at the time, I thought this was a good idea. Sadly, I'd been proven horribly wrong. It was from Dale. And it said, for the podcast, I could do Dale's joke of the week. I tell my favourite joke of each week. Do you know what my reply was? Good idea, mate. Why? Why did I put that? But, the one thing I've really enjoyed about this, the main thing, has been the variety we've covered. We've not only just, some people only do sport, some people only do news, some people only do politics. We've combined the whole of it, put it into a big stirring pot and cooked up a tasty podcast every week. And, like Dale said, we will be back in September, but we will also be having a few one-off podcasts throughout the summer. And you can always follow sportingviewpoint.co.uk, where the podcast will be played every week. I'm doing my own podcast. It's 6 minutes long each one. And I'll be concentrating on sport, though.
Well, on that note, if you want to follow Euro 2012, you can watch... Well, not watch. You can read. Well, you could watch, but you'd rather read the previews and reviews of each day on daleharris.blogspot.
And if we're just going forward a bit in time... If you want to follow stuff on the African Cup of Nations 2013, I'm not absolutely saying I'm going to be there, but there's a good chance I will. Follow Jack Elliott, Journalism in Training, 1993. And if I can just say, my favourite moment. To be honest, there's been that many. It's a real eclectic podcast. We've We've got 2 songs. None of them are that good.